Hello, and welcome to our presentation on Mel Brooks. He is known as a creator of broad film farces and comic parodies such as Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, Silent Movie, High Anxiety, History of the World Part 1, Spaceballs, Robin Hood, Men in Tights, Dracula, Dead and Loving It, and one of the most famous, Blazing Saddles, has said to change the face of comedy. In 1950, Caesar created the revolutionary variety comedy series Your Show of Shows and hired Brooks as a writer. The show was an immediate hit and has been influential to all variety and sketch comedy TV shows since. A writer, producer, director, and actor, Brooks has earned an Academy Award and multiple Emmy, Grammy, and Tony Awards. In September 2016, President Barack Obama presented Brooks with the National Medal of Arts. At the ceremony, President Obama said Brooks was being honored for a lifetime of making the world laugh. As a writer, director, actor, and musician, he pioneered the art of musical comedy, and his hilarious, thought-provoking work on film and in theater have earned him the rare distinction of winning Oscar, Emmy, Tony, and Grammy Awards. Brooks is truly a pioneer in the worlds of comedy and film. He's pushed boundaries when it comes to subject matter and good taste, and he proves that silly humor can still be smart and insightful. While he may be retired from filmmaking, we'll forever be grateful for his influence on comedy. Brooks' satire always hits more than its obvious target. In The Producers, Brooks isn't just mocking the entertainment industry. He specifically takes aim at all the people in power who profit off the masses. A good Mel Brooks movie features at least a few elements that push society's comfort zone to its limits, like the overtly racial theme in Blazing Saddles or the Nazi-themed musical in The Producers. Brooks broke ground for filmmakers and performers like Sacha Baron Cohen to test the waters with their own offense, yet ultimately illuminating humor.
A big reason behind Mel Brooks' popular appeal, aside from the slapstick comedy, clever jokes, sexual innuendos, cliches, double entendres, and most notably, the audible farting, was that his films spoke to prevalent social issues that were occurring at his time. Albeit it was done in jest and with heavy satire, but Mel Brooks was able to bring about social issues to light and then laugh about them. For example, in the opening scene of his most famous film, Blazing Saddles, the town welcomes in their new sheriff and is then appalled that their new sheriff is African American. The N-word is then dropped repeatedly. The sheriff then holds himself hostage in order to alleviate the tension. This is shot only a decade after the Civil Rights Movement, with high racial tensions and the emergence of the taboo behind saying the N-word, and Brooks brought it out into the open and poked fun at it. In his next acclaimed film, which ironically the lead actor Gene Wilder began to come up with during the filming of Blazing Saddles, was Young Frankenstein. For this film, Brooks and co-writer/star Gene Wilder took on James Whales's 1931 version of Mary Shelley's horror classic and the sequel, The Bride of Frankenstein. After opening credits in German blackletter, evoking all the post-1930s monster thrillers from Universal Studios, they add in the elements of classic screwball comedy. The romantic triangle, wherein the engaged couple at the start of the film isn't the same as the pair at the end. The clip that I chose was towards the beginning of the film, where Dr. Frankenstein meets Igor for the first time. Frankenstein corrects the pronunciation of his name by saying it's Frankenstein, and then awkwardly asks Igor if he would like to remove the hump on his back, to which Igor replies, "What hump?" Although it hasn't as many roof-raising jokes as Blazing Saddles, it is funnier over the long run because it is more disciplined. The anarchy is controlled. Brooks sticks to the subject, recalling the cliches of horror films of the 1930s. That's partly because the very genre that he's poking fun at gives him a strong narrative that he can play against. His targets, Frankenstein and The Bride of Frankenstein, the first being the most influential, and the second probably the best of the 1930s Hollywood horror movies. Brooks uses carefully controlled black and white photography that catches the feel of the earlier films, which makes the film look right and makes it even funnier. I learned that not only was Mel Brooks a brilliant comedian and filmmaker, but he used his comedic genius to bring light to various social issues and created a whole new genre of comedic parodies.